Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, knock, knock, knock. Let's see what's going on, Aquarius. And I have to apologize for my voice. As any of you have, if you've been coming along on the, on the readings every week, I guess almost 2 months ago, we had COVID. Before that, we were just sick. Now I feel like it is allergies, but I'm just so cruddy sounding, but I don't feel sick necessarily. So we'll see. I think it's just the allergies. Let's hope anyways. Okay. So I hope you all are doing well today as I am recording this, and this won't come out for another 2 days. So when it comes out, it will be May 2nd. But tonight is the eve of May 1st, the eve of May Day. We are getting right into those beautiful fertility festivals, the high spring, and wow, anyways, in the northern hemisphere. I should not leave out all of my friends in the southern hemisphere who I assume have a lot of harvest festivals. I don't know how you all celebrate, but I'm sure that you have all kinds of feasts and festivals and, observances and things happening as well. So it is a most blessed eve tonight, and I'm excited to kind of look through what we have. I also am trying different teas. This one is the English breakfast, and I'm liking it a lot. It's beautiful. The symbols are nice, long pieces of tea, and I'm enjoying trying different stuff. So hopefully you also. All right, so I want to look at first the card that we have, and it's not a negative card. When I pulled it, I was like, oh, because last week I think we had defeat. So this week we have, which is the 5 of Swords. This week we have the 7 of Swords. This is from the Thoth deck. I love the colors, right? Purple, blues, some white in there. This is the card related to futility. Okay, so maybe mismanagement of some energies. Maybe sometimes falling into the shadow or darker side of whatever the power is that is arising. So, kind of observing both sides of the coin, so to speak. And, well, this isn't a coin, both sides of the sword, I should say. We'll see, what does this have to do with? I kind of have a bit of an idea just because, and also I want to say this is a card that is ruled by Aquarius, has to do with the moon, the sun and the moon. And so we have a lot going on here. This is very powerful. We're doing an Aquarius reading for you all. And so this is going to be extra intense, I feel. All right, so I want to look at this one. It looks like first I saw it as an umbrella, okay? And I've been getting a lot of umbrellas, and I think that makes sense. It's been raining here quite a bit. It's been real dark and rainy on and off every day for the past few days. So my readings have been getting this rain vibe, this rain energy. But obviously the umbrella is kind of, a tool to protect us from those downpours. But at the same time, sometimes we need to get into that water because it is purifying, grounding. It's going to kind of absolve us of some of the issues that we have going on, or some of the sensations, like the alignments that we're in mentally, emotionally. I think, you know, it's always important to go to the water whenever you're having big emotions. If you are having trouble kind of navigating those feelings. For me, it's panic attacks. It's when I'm feeling really, you know, having deep depressive times, which may be the hardest time to get into the water, to be honest with you. But, or when I have, you know, I'm very weepy or angry as well. These are, and I learned this in therapy, actually. When you change the temperature of your body, when you come in contact with a temperature that is fairly drastically different than where you're at, right? So you get into a cooler shower, cooler bath water, go out into the rain, and it's cooler. It will help change those higher feelings, those feelings of anger, of you know, feeling chaotic, having panic. That's my big thing, is the panic, the anxiety, panic, or crying a lot. But in that case, I like to go into the warm water, a really hot, steamy shower to kind of really take me out of the stress feeling in my body. Okay, so I think that it's related to kind of this. There's a sense of, I feel just a weariness, feeling of being emotionally depleted in some ways. But I'm also I think that with the umbrella, I'm seeing that you are probably, I feel that you are probably using some of your coping mechanisms to try to, you know, redirect your attention, to distract yourself to some degree. I see that this is it's kind of crooked, right? And up here it looks like it's kind of, there's a hole possibly there. And so I wonder, how helpful are these coping mechanisms that you are using? What are they exactly? Okay. I want to look at that as well. We also have this kind of dragon energy. This also looks very much like a dragon with the tail and the wings open, and you know, it just it just looks like a dragon, right? So I think that there's also this energy of being kind of in an aggressive mode. I don't necessarily think that there's a lot of anger necessarily, but I think that there is kind of almost a resentment happening. It seems like this is something, whatever it is that is going on, that is arising in your consciousness, okay? And we're getting this sense of futility. I feel that this is something that you have been kind of seeking for years, something that you have been trying to perfect or get into a suitable alignment, okay? I think that it never seems to get into the right place. So, for example, maybe never exactly getting the position in your business that you want, or in your workplace. Maybe your relationship never just gets exactly to that point that you envision it. Maybe you're having trouble meeting somebody in general. Maybe this is about your family life. There's some kind of conflict. It's just, no matter how you, you know, try to reorganize things, how you relate to people, it's always just kind of something is you know, unbalanced, okay? Or this could be applicable to a lot of things in life, whatever it is that is motivating you. And so I think that we're in a place where there is just kind of this big feeling of, you know, when is this going to change? Is this ever going to change? You know, what am I going to, how am I going to get to where I want to go? How do I fix this? I've tried everything. The world is working against me. You know, the one thing that I want is not coming, you know, this kind of attitude. And I think that this is when, and I'm seeing throughout this cup, we have, here is a person kind of wearing a robe or a dress. It looks like their arms are kind of out, but it's kind of this longing posture. The other one that I see, and where did it go? There's that one. Okay. And then you get to talking, and then I just can't find what I'm looking for. Anyways, there's another one, and there it is. Okay, now I can see it. Another person kind of in this longing posture, this reaching out. We also have this one right here that looks like their arm is reaching out, but this one almost looks like it's more in a stance to be shooting an arrow. But interestingly enough, it looks like the bow right here is facing right back at them. So I think that there is an amount of self-defeating behavior going on, kind of self-destructive behavior. I would think maybe almost it could be compulsive, you know, maybe borderline like addictive behaviors. And I think that with this little heart right here, I feel that this is a matter of the heart, but I think that because it is not it doesn't have to exactly be something like you're looking for love or your relationship is not where you want it to be. But I think that maybe it's something similar to this, adjacent. But I feel that when you come to this, when these feelings arise in you and you start to feel kind of out of your normal routine, out of your normal interests, the things that you just do, you know, you usually fill up your time, you have hobbies, extracurricular type of things, work, family, maybe you're retired, you're, you know, doing fun things, again, hobbies, or, you know, whatever it is you do while you're retired. As many things under the sun as you can think of, right? But when you get into this mode where it's like all of a sudden this thing shifts back into your consciousness, and it's like this thing that feels like it's missing in your life, okay? It becomes kind of the all-encompassing symbol of futility, failure, just could never get it quite right, haven't gotten it quite right, okay? And then I think sometimes these coping mechanisms begin to arise, and I feel, for whatever reason, I feel like to some degree this could be related to, and how do I say it delicately, kind of more extreme, the more extreme sides of things. I think that it could be somewhat like erotic, maybe, you know, viewing materials. It could be, you know, casually dating people or talking to people. which, by the way, I just want to just say this as a disclaimer. I feel like, although I don't talk about it a lot on the channel, this is like, this is a very sex positive environment. So, and I myself am, you know, try to be very sex positive and never want to judge or anything. I want to say, though, any kinds of things, you know, that we do in our lives, if it's, you know, seems benign to most people, there are parts of those behaviors that can become out of control, compulsive, addictive, self-destructive. This is just one of the things that is more talked about, I think, within that zone. Okay, so, but I feel that with this alignment, with this card that we've pulled, with a focus on possibly a romantic relationship, configuration of a relationship that has been lacking, I feel that it seems like it could be a natural progression to fulfill yourself in some way, finding attention from others, finding kind of a casual attention, you know, kind of fleeting, where there's not a lot of involvement, or you know, not very much to lose on either side, but and none of that's wrong. Nothing's wrong with that. But where problems do arise is when this starts to feel detrimental to your overall wellness with yourself, with your heart, mind, soul. And it can become exhausting and you know, depleting. And that's where I was talking about at the beginning. There's a sense of weariness and feeling emotionally depleted. So I think that there's been somewhat of an engagement of really trying to find people in the wrong places, find attention in the wrong places, find physical, emotional, spiritual fulfillment in maybe places that aren't really going to allow for that. And, you know, just, I think in the frame of mind of approaching some of these behaviors that's the big indicator there. Is this something that is for fun? Is this something that you just, you know, like to indulge in? It's a preference. It's something that it's a sphere of being that you're comfortable and, you know, like to spend your time doing these things. And that's, you know, wonderful if that's, you know, consensual and feels good and, you know, whatever. But when it starts to not feel good, right? And you start to maybe even spend too much time. It's an obsession. The other things in your life start to fall to the side. Okay. But, you know, this also can be related to other things that we do in life: shopping, eating, substances, just distractions, television, media, whatever it is, social media. We all have our things, right? And so this is so much less, this reading feels like, I think that it really, and this to me in my mind makes sense with the time of year, with all the celebrations of sowing seeds or harvesting our crops, getting ready for winter in the Southern Hemisphere. It's a time of renewal. It's a time of preparation. It's a time of getting ourselves ready for the next season. It's a time that we need to take stock of what we have, what we need, what we will be doing, planning, getting back to the core of things. Okay. And I want to look at, before I just keep going and going, I really think that, and I just want to mention this H. This H, excuse me, keeps showing up in all of my readings lately. So I'm really interested in what that is. What is that going to be? Not all of my readings, but some of my readings, I should say. Don't let me overstate it. But also we have this beautiful little goat, right? So with the goat, definitely always a sense of slowing down, contemplation, but being very, having the ability to navigate very maybe arduous kind of circumstances or inclines. You think of a goat kind of climbing up the side of a cliff or rocks, and they have very little footing, but they still are able to navigate that and do it well. They're resistant. They are able to survive under extreme circumstances, and they are very much involved in their little families, their little tribes. They take care of one another. They like to have fun. They indulge in the absurdity of things. And so I think that really this is all about kind of just reorienting yourself, getting back out of this mindset of being focused on this larger arc of your existence. If this thing has not happened right now, I think that in this mind state that you are in, so for instance, if, you're trying to have a family and you haven't met the right person, or it just, you're already married, but it hasn't happened yet. Yes, of course you have to be proactive, but when you get into a place where you are so stressed about it, so worried about it, feeling so defeated by it, you start acting out, doing things that are, going to end up being devastating to you in the long run. That's when you have to stop and try to temper yourself, get to a place where you're doing some of the, the base work, right? Self-work, self-development, reinvest yourself into your regular routine, self-care, moving your body, eating well, sleeping enough, right? Drinking enough water, all of these kinds of things. Getting out into the fresh air when you can, being in nature as much as you can, okay? Setting manageable goals, things that you can reach, be reasonable about things. For me, with like things like eating and things, I have to try to, make a goal of maybe fasting, doing my little fasting window, having smaller portions, and then even trying to do a little bit less than that. Of course, enough to maintain, but, just really tempering self in these times where you're feeling a bit out of control of whatever. And so facing these kinds of life goals, mundane goals, the things that keep our regular physical, corporeal body going, our routines going, our household going, right? Turning away from these larger, sometimes existential, sometimes, you know, just things that are definitely out of our control, turning away from those for a moment so that we can get out of that mindset of feeling so defeated. We need to go through a process of uplifting ourselves through things that we can achieve. So then we have kind of a renewed ability to look at whatever this larger goal or want or desire or you know, need or whatever it is, to look at it with renewed eyes, new eyes, fresh eyes, clear eyes. Okay. And so let's see. We have the Pisces sign up here. Okay. Right in here. So I think that it seems like you have a Pisces person maybe in your life. Maybe they are an important person. I think that it's worth maybe spending some time with them. They seem to be in this emotional zone for you, and maybe going out and doing something with them, reaching out to them, letting them know you've been thinking about them. You'd like to hang out, whatever it is, you know, if they live far away, I don't know, maybe you play video games or something, or you chat or whatever. Just spend some time with this person. I think that they are helpful for you to kind of get out of these darker kind of moods that you have seemed to have been in recently. We also have this little, it looks like a little dog sitting kind of right here with the little nose, and it seems to be sitting and just really kind of in a patient and contemplative guarding posture. And I think that this is somebody, or this is some part of yourself that really wants to take care of you. Okay. And I think that this certain cycle where you have kind of feel like maybe you are spiraling a little bit, I don't think it's gotten as far as it could have, right? Or that maybe it has in the past. So I think that this, if you are able to kind of hear this message, take a look at what's going on, maybe do some of this work, apply some of this, and keep it in mind going forward. You know, every time that we kind of cut off a little bit of these spirals, that they don't get as big, they don't get as intense, you don't kind of backslide as much, then, you know, that is progress for sure. You know, as some of you know, I myself am in recovery, and thankfully, I'm coming up on 7 years this month, and very thankful for that. And the work has been hard, and, you know, I myself, the beginning of my recovery, had, obviously, most people, as we do as addicts, we relapse here and there. And just in these 7 years since, you know, my last relapse, just seeing other people go through it as well, but also coming back and, you know, getting their life to where they want it to go and how they want it to be, and reaching goals. And I just see how important it is that we just continue to focus on being very conscious of how quickly we can descend into old behaviors, okay, and how fast that can just really take over. And so I think, you know, if you catch yourself early, that is so much progress. Okay, and I'm not saying that this is addiction necessarily, but I think that, you know, this is applicable to so many different things that could be arising, right? Even, you know, and I'm using so many examples, I'm sorry, but it really, I think in these terms within my own life all the time. But, you know, I had like a social media break for a while. I've been back on Facebook here and there. And I just see more time going into it. You just slip right back into it. And so now I already need to get back off of there again. And it's only been a few weeks. And it's just, you know, it's easy to just get back into those old behaviors, and it just sucks your time away, you know? And so here we are. And, you know, I think this is really ends up being a message of, you know, hope. And not just hope. How about a message of congratulations to you? Because I think you're already thinking about these things. You already know this about yourself. You already know what's going on. This is just going to be a little bit of a confirmation that the universe is telling you, I'm here for you. I got you. I have your back. Now we just got to do the work together. Okay. And so, you know, that futility feeling, that's just a feeling. And that is probably a falsehood, right? That's something that we're telling ourselves to allow us to continue the behaviors, right? But we know better than that. We know what we are. We know what we're capable of. We know that we're strong and can conquer any of this little stuff, right? All right, let's see what we have going on. So oddly, to me, and this is going to be so random for, this maybe only will apply to like one person out of anybody that watches this, but I want to add this in because it really, it struck me deeply. I just have a feeling that somebody's going to have a tree that falls. I'm looking at it, I'm envisioning a tree coming down, due to maybe weather, or maybe you have to cut a tree down on your property, or the power will go out due to a tree falling somewhere around. But it seems like this is going to be something that happens in the next maybe week. From when you watch this, whenever you watch this reading, it will be happening in the next week from then. For the rest of you, hopefully, you know, you will hear this and get back to doing whatever it is that you have been doing that has been keeping your mind busy, away from this other kind of chaotic feelings. Okay. And so let me know how let me know how you're doing. Let me know, you know, what's going on. Let me know what your tricks for, kind of positive distractions are. How do you like to ground yourself? How do you like to get out of these funky moods? And other than that, if you'd be so kind as to like the video, it's helping me get into the algorithm, and we're reaching more people and, you know, making those subs. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos come out. We're on a schedule where we're doing, well, now it's kind of different because I'm not really going to take a gap day. So probably every 6 days you're going to get a reading, but maybe it's every 7. I don't know. It depends on how things shake out. So between every 6 and 7 days, you'll have your reading. So in the meantime, though, you can watch your other placements because 2 videos come out every day. So 6 or 7 days until next Aquarius, but every single day between there will be 2 other readings coming out. So you can watch your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising, Venus, cross-watching, all of that. And yeah, I'm sure something will speak to you, hopefully. All right. I thank you so much for your time. Always such an honor for me to be able to read for you. And we will talk again soon, Aquarius.